if anybody haven't noticed, the Dallas Mavericks are over the 11th seed, losing against the Chicago Bulls, getting them out of playoffs after reportedly 5th seed, being the top offense in the NBA with an MVP candidate performance out of Luka Doncic putting up outstanding numbers, even putting up a 62-point triple-double against the New York Knicks earlier around the season, given hopes that he could carry over the franchise and become the number one guy, knowing that he had a good playoff team, except a bit of struggles over the defensive side of the ball. And they still carried that over after making a desperation trade for Kyrie Irving around the trade deadline after hints of Kyrie Irving returning to LeBron James' side around the regular season to make a playoff push with the Los Angeles Lakers. But guess where the Lakers are? Where the goddamn Mavericks should have been in the postseason. They follow up a game behind, struggling to carry over teams, only winning 2 of their last 10 games. The Mavericks have been struggling. They haven't had their longest win streak since around mid to the early February when they only won 3 straight. The longest win streak since they've had Kyrie Irving have only been 2 games, and 1 game over an overtime loss to a tanking San Antonio Spurs team. You have got to be kidding me. This team was winning 7 straight in a row, 4 straight in a row. Their longest losing streak came around 4 straight. It came over their longest losing streak this season, coming around losing their last freaking 10. And sure, we can try to blame over Luka Doncic. Of course, Luka is an outstanding offensive player with a defensive handicap with his slow mobility, his lack of footwork, and his precision over the defensive front. We understand Luka Doncic is not reliable over the defensive front. You know who else isn't reliable defensively? Kyrie Irving. Why do we get rid of Dorian Finney-Smith and frickin' Spencer Dinwiddie? Now, I understand there was a struggle for the Mavericks. They've always had issues over the secondary team scoring, trying to keep it clutch. They don't have the size of rim protectors, especially over Max Kiblar or Christian Wood. I think they had Boban Marjanovic early around the season before he went shipped off to Houston. And JaVale McGee that they got over the Golden State Warriors. And then previously he was on the Phoenix Suns. So there was a lot of massive pulls that the Mavs could have gotten to possibly get trade for guys like Mitchell Robinson for Spencer Dinwiddie. Or Max Kiblar for, a dependable wing. Sure, it would be a small step, but somebody that's taking up spaces of cap that they don't need, that could be reliable over a positionary handicap, like a big man. But no, they want to just enforce over a pick and roll dynamic duo, and then they have to know that they have to play defense. And now they get rid of guys that are actually good at both scoring and defending, like Spencer Dinwiddie. Why is Tim Hardaway Jr. back over on the team still? And now people are enforcing that it's just one guy's problem why they're struggling over the postseason? No. The Mavs were just a terrible basketball team, especially over in the second half of the season. And Mark Cuban was just marked over to try to push over a big market for a dynamic duo offense to sell for the Mavericks when you're just good enough with just one premier all-star or 2 premier all-stars while making a decent run to the postseason. You just need good depth. Giannis Antetokounmpo is literally a 2-time league MVP. Sure, Chris Middleton has been an all-star before, but he's not a consistent all-star. He knows his rollover as a secondary scoring option as a good 3-and-D unit. And without him, the Bucks aren't as good as they think they are. And you get rid of Dinwiddie, that literally when he debuted over on the Nets, on the Mavericks after having a struggling stint with the Wizards, not gelling over with Bradley Beal, to being your best secondary scoring option and a good wing defender that can switch over to the top scorers. And so is Dorian Finney-Smith being good 3-and-D shooter that's better than Tim Hardaway Jr.'s crap production from the field. So why? I want to understand. And now I have to hear these crap basketball tapes that takes that it's always this one individual that's the backbone of this entire team. That's the reason why this team failed. No, it's not. Get over yourselves. But you guys tell me how down below. Did you expect the Dallas Mavericks making it to the missing the playoffs like this, or early around the season when they were supposed to be a prime contender over the Warriors or the Clippers possibly? I guess depending on how you felt about John Wall when he was there, or the Denver Nuggets. Just saying. Because off season is going to be pretty hectic depending on if Luka still has any confidence on the Mavericks front office decisions. If Kyrie's still going to stay for any potential, long term, if they're trying to still push for the postseason, or he's going to be leaving, or Mark Cuban got to get over a new coaching staff, knowing Jason Kidd's uninspiring play style, where it's just ISO up for Luka and nobody can get any competent ball movement, and that's why they always struggle against teams that are below 500. And they haven't lost to contenders, guys. It's been middle of the road teams they've been losing to. They just lost to Chicago Bulls that fall 10th in the Eastern Conference, just bottom tier over the play-in. Then they lost to the Charlotte Hornets around the road. Then they lost to the Atlanta Hawks, that are also a play-in team. The Pelicans, the Pacers, have only split over the series in the last 3 months against the Spurs. Ironically, that will be their last game of the season. Bro, and they were producing this way better. Sure, it was so and so January, and I can understand why they went to make the run, so they could feel like they could get the pressure off Luka. But now you have 2 starting closers that have the same exact way they have to play to score so they can win. Mark Cuban didn't think of any of this. Thanks for watching the DST show. Like, comment, subscribe for more. I'm going to take some Tylenol.